Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be taking a look at the new free fighter cards for the Soulblight Gravelords for WARCRY. So great news for WARCRY fans, especially if you like the Soulblight Gravelords, and if you picked up any of those new miniatures that came out, and even some of the Cursed City miniatures, then you're in for a treat as we're going to get some new fighter cards and abilities now. So in this video, we'll take a look through all the new cards, and there's also a new campaign as well that we can download and play with some interesting new twists to the game. So looking really great. So let's get started and have a look at the article that's published on the Warhammer community site, and this is where you can download the cards and the campaign, and I'll put a link in the description below so you can watch this video and head straight over there and then download it and get playing. So let's get started with the article, and as we scroll down we see we're going to get the Soulblight Gravelords fighter cards, and with 21 fighters to choose from, your Soulblight Gravelords warband could be anything from a necromancer leading a horde of shambling deadwalker zombies to a band of fearsome blood knights. And it says that all the miniatures included in the Start Collecting Soulblight Gravelords box can now be fielded in WARCRY, and we can use these cards to do that. So this is great, and that also, I love these Start Collecting sets. Some of them are an awesome way to get into WARCRY, and I think this Soulblight Gravelords could be a good start if you haven't looked into playing them already. So here we go, let's keep going, and it says alongside the new fighter cards, the Soulblight Gravelords have many powerful abilities to use in battle, and the vampires in your warband can heal themselves by draining blood of fallen foes with the Thirst for Blood ability, and then meanwhile your lesser fighters such as the Graveguard, Seneschals and Skeleton Champions can call upon the powerful Chosen Champion ability when your warband's leader is nearby, and this is going to make them great bodyguards. And these are great abilities. We've seen these for the Legions of Nagash, but now with this nice update, this is going to include it for some of those other miniatures that we get now for what are the Soulblight Gravelords. So this is great news, and I'll also take a look at the abilities that were in the book for the Legions of Nagash later in the video, and we'll just compare and see if any of these have changed. But these are some great ones. That Chosen Champion's a really good ability. And then as we scroll down, you see here that we can download those cards and abilities, and it's also going to give us the table, the roll tables for the names and the backgrounds and things like that. So a really great resource, and you know, you can just use them as PDFs or you can print them off and just add them into your book as like a little addition. So there we go, there's the fighter cards, but we're also going to get a narrative campaign, and this narrative campaign is going to follow the story of the Dark Master's siege of Lady Olinda's stronghold in the realm of death, the ancient city of Silentum, as detailed in the Broken Realms Be'lakor. And this campaign is going to be for 4 to 6 players, but there is a twist. Rather than each player vying for victory themselves, they're going to be divided into 2 teams, the Agents of Be'lakor and the Emerald Host. So this is new, this is something I haven't come across yet, so this sounds pretty interesting. So really looking forward to diving into the campaign and having a look, and we'll have a look at it in the video too, and we'll have a little overview so you can see exactly what's included. And then it says that in the Agents of Be'lakor team, each warband must share a demon faction rune arc, while the Emerald Host is made up of Nighthaunt and Soulblight Gravelords, and this allows you to use those new fighter cards right away. So the Agents of Be'lakor are plunging into the depths of Silentum, battling any undead who oppose them as they search for the Sanctum of Anguish, the resting place of Lady Olinda's skeletal remains. And the campaign is going to last for 3 battles in total. In the first 2 battles, each player faces an opponent from the other team, and these games use a battle matrix to determine the battle plan, giving each player a strategic choice to make. And the final battle is fought at the gates of the Sanctum of Anguish and is an epic team battle involving all of the players, and this campaign makes the perfect prelude to play in the Warhammer Age of Sigmar battle plan in the Court of Death that's found in Broken Realms Be'lakor. So again, this is where we download that, so we can go and download the campaign for free. You are going to need a few friends to play this with. I think this is going to be really difficult to play solo, but now hopefully we're out and about more, we can find people to play some games with, so this is great, so good timing. So there we go, that's the end of the article. So let's go and take a look at those cards, and then once we've looked through the cards, we'll compare it to the book, the Bringers of Death Warcry supplement book, see what changes have been made to those abilities, and then we're going to have a quick look at the campaign too. Okay, so I clicked on the link, and now here we are. We're going to get the abilities for our fighters and for our leaders, and then we're going to get all our fighter cards. And you can see here that there's 2 double pages, so we get loads of fighter cards there to choose from, and also those role tables for the names, the origins and backgrounds. That's really great. And the good thing here, I think, is that we're going to get a choice of 6 leaders, but then another 15 fighters to choose from. So that's great. I mean, often you can get a lot of leaders, and then you only be able to take 1 leader and 1 hero into your warband, kind of limits it. But I like this. Straight away we get 6 leaders, which I think is a really good choice, and we're going to get some nice different abilities to decide on which leader we're going to use. Then we can bring one in as a hero too, and then we've got another 15 different fighter types to choose from. So really looking forward to taking another deep look into this and work out those fighter cards and see the improvements they've made from the Legions of Nagash to the Soulblight Gravelords. And of course, you can still use the Legions of Nagash if you've got the Bringers of Death book, or you've got the fighter cards that came with the Warcry set. Then there's no reason why you can't just continue to do that. I don't see a problem at all, especially if you're only playing with your friends or at home, then that's going to be no worries. But you'll notice here with the Soulblight Gravelords, you've got the Necromancer, and you've got some of the repeated miniatures and models. Certainly down here, you've got that Skeleton Champion and those other figures, and the Seneschal. So the Seneschal is going to be exactly the same looking miniature as you would have used in Legions of Nagash. The Skeleton Champion's been updated though to those new ones. So, and these would come in that starter set, I would imagine. So there we go. So we've got a few updates, but I wonder if the points have changed. So let's have a deeper look at the fighter cards, and we'll do some comparisons. Right, so I've gone through the abilities as well, and really, although the abilities have got the same names, they really have changed this quite a lot. So I think comparing it to the Legions of Nagash is probably not the best way to go. I think we just treat this as what it is, a completely new faction, and almost ignore the Legions of Nagash. This certainly isn't an update to Legions of Nagash. It's a brand new warband. So I think comparing the fighters would be pointless. But I do wonder, because the Necromancer is different here, whether we could employ like an ally from the Legions of Nagash and then use the Necromancer from the Legions of Nagash in the Soulblight Gravelords as an ally. I wonder if you could do that. So yeah, it doesn't say anywhere that this is kind of replacing Legions of Nagash, so I don't see any reason why you couldn't do that. But a lot of the cards are going to be repeated. The Vampire Lord is going to be in both Soulblight Gravelords and Legions. You're also going to get the Castellan, the Vargor, the Necromancer, the White King. So you're going to get lots of these same miniatures. So that's going to be a weird crossover if you start thinking about using some of them as allies. But I think just for simplicity's sake, I would go with either Legions or Soulblight Gravelords and not try and kind of merge any of the two, or try and be sneaky and use one of them from the other warband or faction that's got like a little bit better stats on the card. Like for example, the Vampire Lord here with the Soulblight Gravelords is 225 points with a movement 5, toughness 5, and can take 25 wounds, whereas the Vampire Lord for the Legions of Nagash is 235 points, so a few more points, but it's not as good. The movement's 4, the toughness is 4, and the wounds is still 25, and the stats for damage dealt is exactly the same, and even the abilities are the same. So I think comparing them is probably not the way to go. I think treat them separately and choose one or the other. But it's really great here to see that we're getting some of the Kasagi Night Guard from the Cursed City set, so now we can use that one with the fighter cards. We've also got Viacos Bloodborne in there, so that's a really good addition, so really happy with that. And then as we scroll down, we can see we've got those new and updated models for the Skeleton Champion and the Skeleton Warriors, and the Dead Walker zombies now reflect those newer ones, and we've got some Hell Knights too. So this is a great update, really like these, and I'm glad they're going to continue doing them. After the last one, the Lumineth, there's a little bit of a kind of delay between this one and that one, and I thought, oh no, are they going to stop doing it? But they're not. Looks like they're going to continue, so this is great news, and hopefully they'll start updating all of the other factions too. So that's a quick overview of the cards and abilities. So now let's have a look at this campaign called the Depths of Silentum, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, I hope so, but you can see here we're going to get another 2 double pages. There's the first 2 pages and the second, and this is this new battle matrix that we haven't seen before. This is quite interesting, and the idea here is that when you're setting up the battle, so it tells you here in fighting campaign battles, the Agents of Bellicor player will choose one of the tactics and write it down, and then the Emerald Host player will choose one of their tactics and write it down, and then once you reveal them you consult the matrix, and then that will tell you the setup, so it'll give you your advantage, deployment and your victory. So that gives you the setup for the actual battle. So that's quite an interesting little thing to put into play there. Depending on which tactic you choose will decide, and the combination of those 2 tactics will decide who gets the advantage in the battle. So that's quite interesting. Be interesting to play it, but you do need lots of players for this. It's 4 to 6, so not really designed for 1 to 2 players really. So you know that's going to be a little bit of a drawback if you're like me and don't have anyone to play with, or you have to play with your family or on your own most of the time. Then you're going to be a bit tricky trying to control that many. I think it might be a bit too much, but you know, worth giving it a go if you want to. But if you've got some friends, then happy days, you'll love this. You got 4 to 6 players, and it's a great way to get those new Soulblight Gravelord miniatures into battle. So this is a great narrative campaign. It's going to give you all the information you need from getting ready through to fighting the campaign battles, the twist cards, the aftermath sequence, and then the final battle. And then the final battle here would be at the gates of the Sanctum, and this will give you all the details for that, the kind of warbands, the terrain, the deployment and your reserves, victory and twist and all that stuff. So great 2 double pages here, and you're going to get quite a few games out of this. So the idea is every player will play 3 battles, and so the first 2 battles for each player will be played against one of the enemy's warbands. So if you've got 4 to 6 players, you just decide between yourselves which warband is going to be fighting which other warband from each team, and then once you get to the 3rd battle, that's when all of the players can bring their warband into battle. So you could potentially have 4 to 6 warbands all doing battle on the battlefield at the same time. So a big free-for-all, and this would be quite interesting to play out. I think it'd be really fun. But again, it's all listed. All the details you need are included in this 2 double page campaign, and then that's also going to be like a supplement to the rules in the core book. So you'll need the core book as well to play this. This is great news, seeing these fighter cards being released now more often, and so I'm really looking forward to getting some more updates for some of the other models that have been released. But I'd love to know what you think about these fighter cards, how they've changed the abilities. They're quite similar to the Legions of Nagash, but certainly some of them have changed quite a bit there. So yeah, it'd be awesome to hear what you think. So join in the comments section below, and then also let me know what you think about the campaign. Is this something you'll be playing? It'd be great to hear from you. But thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. If you like this kind of content and would like to support the channel, then please check out my Patreon page, and thanks to everyone who's joined so far. It's really awesome. We hang out on Discord, talk about the hobby, share ideas and help each other out, and you'll get some perks there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll put a link in the description, and it'll be great to see you there.